3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15.
Playoffs using that schedule, and then you hand out rewards based on who did what. Only thing, yeah, but just take a lot of work, and it had to take a lot of dedication, you know. If you're paying 100,000 coins, I hope that's enough to keep people dedicated, right? And a lot of people don't want to hand over 100,000 coins. And the
pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
Also, I think the
Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That's a lot of work for me to keep everybody's shit straight, ask everybody check in daily. I mean, a franchise league where the game takes care of most of that is hard enough. To do it with Mutt and Link the two. So
oh my
that
God,
complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
36.
My teddy bear.
Now Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now Breeze on third down.
My bad, I had y'all muted. What?
In there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him.
Franchise game?
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down.
I'm broadcasting it right now, playing the same. 8-5 versus 7-4.
49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10.
Derek Barnett coming for Defensive Player of the Year, though. Be on the lookout.
First and 10.
That's why everybody in the franchise needs to have a Twitch channel, not a YouTube channel. Because I can host your Twitch.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement.
Get it in there, man. Come on.
Down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Right?
What?
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one will swallow it up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move.
Oh, no, I'm on YouTube. I do it so I can save the broadcast.
Didn't happen on that.
You can save the broadcast on something.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
I don't know how to do that.
A yard on the pickup. And now they've got a third down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive.
But that's a good way for us to make this
safety.
Oh, boy.
He'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one
that's
there.
to the house.
That's
to the house. He fucked up. Oh, shit. No, he didn't. He tried to blitz me with his whole ass. Fuck.
Intercepted.
What?
Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
Oh, this dude's sending a blitz.
Take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, shit.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Get popped, boy.
Escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Breeze.
Hit it there. Come on, man.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds.
Oh, I said it.
So it's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the side.
And he can't find
yeah, buddy.
And he's brought down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for sack number 9 now.
All you want to do is run crossing routes.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit. But some points on the board on this one.
That's going to be caught.
You can't stop Philip there.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Philip Dorsett, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
So glad I finally got him.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down.
Oh, let's go.
And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Hurts has it left side.
You ran over, too.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a play fake. Wentz. And just shutting him off there. We're looking for his tight end.
You ain't got to cut it off. It's supposed to...
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
I don't know if you're supposed to cook it like half the time and then shake, and then another half. It says
this guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
It says it either that or that when to shake.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Oh, there's the shrimp in here. Oh my.
Everybody still here? Oh yeah. Hello.
Elliott now. Offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they're going to stay with it. I don't think they're abandon it just yet. And try
oh my God, why he didn't grab that?
At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
Short, 89 mid, 95 deep, 92 under pressure.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Jesus.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He must have seen the post or something.
And he is.
It'll be a minute. I'll get back to you. I'm in the game right now. Alright, just send a friend request.
Will Lutz on for the point after.
I'll go and CYD. I'll send you loan.
I can barely hear you because you're coming through my TV. What did you say?
I got it, Derek.
Alright.
Yes, send one to all gold.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
How did you? What post did?
This will be fielded at the 6.
You just need to know for research.
And I just returned the kick to the house.
As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
Going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as as good as you can do, I guess. So,
oh, no
well
shit,
done.
Derek.
Well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Oh, no
Elliott
shit.
good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
I didn't even know he did it like that. That's pretty sweet.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Breeze now. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, first and 10. On first and 10, here's Breeze. Catch made over the middle by Ginn. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Finding room inside the 40. There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Oh, nice.
A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Lutz good on the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
Yeah, it happens, dude. My team
and this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here first and 10 at their own 18. So after the INT, it's Breeze.
It's not a trick
now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Holy shit, Derek. I thought it was 14 nothing. What the fuck?
Breeze hands to Ingram. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first and
No, I just hate when people fucking play like little fucking girls, man. He's just throwing it 3 yards underneath. Running cover 2 and he's still throwing it underneath. He's being a little girl about shit. Alright, I'll take it away though.
No matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he was going to move to the secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that.
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Breeze now on first down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Breeze gives it out to Ingram. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. On the carry, here's Clement. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
On second down, here's Wentz. Over the middle, Dorsett. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
Sunday. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! A great play there, hitting double digits with his onto their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead now up to 14. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And Ted Ginn's gonna go. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown Saints. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Wentz to throw on second down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. They'll run with Clement. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Wentz escaping the pressure right. And the ball is knocked out. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And they're not able to convert on fourth down. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sets. Hunt it away, let your defense take over with better field position.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze will try again on second down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A very solid gain of 27. This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining.
3 down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Lefty, lefty. Hey, watch it.
A run, it's Clement. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Breeze now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Right back to him on first down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go. 2 times.
Porky, 82, Porky. Go. 82.
Watch twist.
Wentz going to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And he fires one, but incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down.
4 down.
Here, sit.
Motion.
Here, sit.
I got it.
Here, sit.
Go.
Liz. Great. Liz 5-7. 82.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Being chased out left. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
46 down, man, 5-4.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Ram. Great 15. Lefty.
Watch the twist.
Wentz now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Hendrickson able to drop him for a loss of a couple. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you showed them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Aguilar has it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. This is Clement, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a one-score game. He's going to get it running right. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on third and goal.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
12. Hey.
He'll look to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Breeze picked off by his former teammate, Malcolm Jenkins. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Ramp. Great.
They can't hang with us.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
81. There we go.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wins. And that is incomplete.
Hello.
Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it.
Hello.
And the Saints are going to get
Madden
back in
franchise.
great shape. He'll have a tough time living that one down.
Hello.
It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another.
Hello, Madden franchise.
So many teams work on that in terms of
Hello,
in on those key downs.
Madden franchise.
You and I both been to practices.
You say Madden franchise, no franchise right now.
Downs. Breeze now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
21.
They'll look to throw. Gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let it. Hey, we got 80 seconds.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by DeAndre Hall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions.
Man, you guys done throwing picks to each other?
Trusted confidant is on the sideline.
They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big pickup there.
Yeah, pretty much.
To wrap this one up. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback.
Come on.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was
I just got away from the run.
The Giants
I was
ran
trying to
it
do
one more
too
time,
much.
ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
I should have manned him up a long time ago.
1978. I think it was in November.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it?
I got top-tier cornerbacks. I ain't worried about the cornerbacks. It's the tight ends and the running backs who's getting the plays. So I just got to make sure I set everything up to stop that.
So for the Eagles, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL